job, Valtteri. P12 now, Magnussen ahead on a medium. So currently P11, we'll take is available. So slow stop for Vettel, he will be close on exit. You're ahead of Vettel, you cleared Vettel. So Albon, you cleared Albon as well. So Hulkenberg ahead is the last car on the soft. DRS has been enabled, so you will have DRS.
Thank God.
It just took 18 laps. And we're looking at P4 on the road. Box, box, box. Brake balance for the box, easy into the box and shallow clutch position. So you're good in 5, 6, 7 compared to Albon. Top drive, Valtteri. It's very good stuff today.
Valtteri, well done. Well done. Really strong race and really strong season. Well done.
Thanks for the strong season, and we'll be stronger next year.
Yes.
We've got Ferrari backwards outside our window here,
It's
Crofty.
Sebastian Vettel who has gone spinning on the main straight.
He's really trying to find himself some space.
And is that tyres too cold?
Yeah, he's waited so long, he's not really pushed it on the outlap, and that's a beginner's mistake.
Giving it everything. Robert Kubica out of the final corner, but it's not enough. He is going to finish last in qualifying. Won't start right at the back of the grid, but George Russell's going to out-qualify his teammate for the 21st time in Formula One this year. Gasly next across the line, goes 6th fastest overall. Next, Kevin Magnussen goes up to 10th, and that's putting Danny Kvyat down towards the bottom as well, with Raikkonen trying to go again, and Stroll on a personal lap at the moment. Grosjean only 14th, Kvyat goes 10th fastest. Now Grosjean very much at risk. Hulkenberg next across the line goes 9th fastest overall, and we're looking now at Lance Stroll, who's never got out of Q1 here in the Yas Marina circuit. Can he get out of the bottom 5? Crosses the line, he does, goes 10th fastest, pushes Grosjean into the bottom 5, and Daniel Ricciardo goes 6th fastest at the checkered flag. Sergio Perez is comfortable, albeit down in 15th, but goes 5th fastest overall. We're looking at Kimi Raikkonen's times. Nope, he is definitely out. George Russell finishes 19th, but that is 21-0. And like Fernando Alonso did to Stoffel Van Dorn last year, he has given his teammate absolutely no respite whatsoever in qualifying.
Now you've got to be neat, tidy, committed. 19 up against the barriers. 20 nips on the exit, you can ride the curbs. Ooh, nearly stepped out on him. 21. It's clumsy, all on the front axle, but you get your reward straight off the back of the corner. Stroll then just into the top 10.
He's given himself a chance behind him. Lando Norris needs to pick up a bit of pace. Stroll is out of qualifying as Pierre Gasly goes into 10th spot. Daniel Ricciardo stays 8th. That should be okay for him. Danny Kvyat and Lando Norris still out on the track. Danny Kvyat didn't set a personal best in the middle sector. Could cost him, does cost him. Stays 13th, and qualifying woes once again for Danny Kvyat as Lando Norris, good final sector, goes 8th fastest, pushes pushes Sergio Perez into the risk zone, puts Pierre Gasly out of it. Magnussen definitely out of it. Carlos Sainz now crosses the line, stays 6th fastest. It's the two McLarens both into Q3. The head-to-head fight will carry on. Max Verstappen crawls over the line, so gets a sighter on the soft tyres, but I get the feeling Red Bull want him and his teammate Alex Albon then to start the race on those medium tyres that they set the faster time on. Hulkenberg goes 10th fastest. Sergio Perez is out of qualifying.
This is where the Mercedes has been so strong.
In that final sector. So Ferrari have the advantage at the moment. Sainz with a 1:36.4, 0.6 up on his teammate Lando Norris. Hamilton crosses the line. Here's the target time, a 1:34.8. His teammate Valtteri Bottas has been there or thereabouts in this lap, finishes off about to 10th down, 2nd fastest. Sebastian Vettel next across the line, only 3rd fastest for Ferrari, no front row at the moment for Sebastian Vettel. Here comes Charles Leclerc, who out-qualifies his teammate, but the Ferraris stay behind the two Mercedes, and we look to Max Verstappen powering his way through the final 2 corners now. Verstappen's had a decent middle sector as well. To the line he goes. He's still 3/10 down on Lewis Hamilton, but it is Mercedes and Red Bull on the front row. 3, 2 and 1, and I think Charles Leclerc might not make it. He hasn't made it.
No, we're not going to make it. Seb is slowing down.
Charles Leclerc, for the 2nd time this season, remember back to Monza and the shambles of qualifying there, has not made it to the checkered flag in time to start his final flying lap.
And suggesting that his teammate slowed down too much.
Well, everybody else did in front, so Vettel had to slow down to clear a bit of space, but could he have got a bit more of a move on? It was about 2 seconds, I think, that Charles Leclerc missed that red flag by.
And Vettel had a horrible first sector for good measure.
Yeah, so Ferrari throwing it away here under the lights in Abu Dhabi. Lewis Hamilton on provisional pole, setting personal best, but not throughout this lap.
All 3 of them, 16.9 first sector, 40.6 middle sector. Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, identical sector time.
Remember, Lewis Hamilton hasn't been on pole since Germany 9 races ago. It's his longest poleless streak since 2011. Crosses the line now and improves by 4/100ths of a second. Verstappen's his nearest challenger, goes very wide at the final turn. It's cost him time. Lewis Hamilton on pole position. His teammate Valtteri Bottas crosses the line. It's a Mercedes 1-2 in qualifying for the 6th consecutive year. Bottas will start at the back of the grid, but Mercedes keep up this amazing record in the turbo hybrid era here at the Yas Marina circuit. Sebastian Vettel did not have a very good first sector. His middle sector wasn't that great either. Only 5th fastest for Sebastian Vettel. His teammate Charles Leclerc didn't make the checkered flag, didn't get a second run. Doesn't matter in terms of the Ferrari battle. He still stays ahead of Vettel, but he didn't get a chance to challenge Verstappen, Bottas and Hamilton. The champion is back on pole here in Abu Dhabi, and it's a new track record to go with it. Charles Leclerc would be screaming at this stage, come on, get a move on, get a move on. We're going to miss the checker, we're going to miss the lights.
But it was Albon ahead, wasn't it?
Yeah, there it is.
Well.
He's missed it
Miles
by
off.
quite some margin.
I don't think you can blame Vettel for that, because they had got the Red Bull ahead of them, also trying to find himself some space.
Lewis Hamilton, for the first time since Germany then. His 88th career pole. He's 20 clear of any other driver in Formula One history. He's on pole here for a 5th time in Abu Dhabi. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable season. I hope you've enjoyed it along with us, and for one last time, it's lights out and away we go! Lewis Hamilton gets away well, Max Verstappen slips in behind him, Charles Leclerc ahead of Sebastian Vettel, Alex Albon has the McLaren of Lando Norris for company, but as they all go through the top 10 unscathed, going wheel to wheel, the McLaren of Sainz with Nico Hülkenberg as well. I think Lance Stroll down at the back went off at the first turn, and the 2 racing points back on the track as well. In towards the hairpin we go now, as all the cars concertina up. On the inside is Kevin Magnussen getting ahead of Nico Hülkenberg. Hamilton comes out of the hairpin ahead of Verstappen and the 2 Ferraris, and there's contact at the back as they come through the hairpin.
Yeah, there was contact as well on the outside of turn 1. I believe there's a racing point involved. And look at Leclerc breezing past the Red Bull.
That wasn't expected there. Charles Leclerc ahead of Max Verstappen, and there looking up is Antonio Giovinazzi. Valtteri Bottas has made up places as well, already up in the 16th from the back of the grid. You can see the Mercedes coming through ahead of Danny Kvyat, who's got Romain Grosjean, giving him an awful lot to worry about. Verstappen now has been overtaken by Vettel, but he's trying to fight back, keeps ahead of him as Albon locks up ahead of Carlos Sainz, who's ahead of his teammate Lando Norris. And Norris gets past Sainz and gets a tap for his troubles as well as he squeezes past the Spaniard. Oh dear.
Yeah, that was a bit of a thump, wasn't it? Nothing he could do about that.
Well, this is how it looked on board with Lance Stroll. We saw the brakes smoking away at the start. Gasly originally locked up. Stroll didn't help by locking up a little bit, I think, himself, and we saw the resultant damage. We're on board with Valtteri Bottas. He's got 1 racing point down into the first chicane. He's got another racing point at the next chicane this time around. Bottas overtakes Sergio Perez, and he moves past and up into 8th place now with Ricciardo pitting. Into the pits then comes the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc.
And that's hard tyres going on. That's not the Ferrari I expected to see first this evening.
Certainly not. Double stacking. So a 2.6 second stop for Charles Leclerc. Sebastian Vettel front left. It's a bit problematic for him. Oh, and he was stationary for way too long, almost 3 times as long stationary, because they just couldn't get the front left on, and that is the problem. When you double stack, you are expecting a lot from your pit crew. Have a look here. Antonio Giovinazzi getting past Robert Kubica. Do they touch? Oh, they do. And the bit came off Giovinazzi's car as well. Bang.
So wonder Kubica wasn't upside down there.
Yeah. Right, in comes Max Verstappen, and will come out behind that Ferrari, which of course pitted an awful lot earlier.
Yeah, Leclerc pitted on lap 12. So that gives him a big advantage, doesn't it, towards the end of the Grand Prix, Max?
George Russell ahead of Charles Leclerc. Russell has been lapped. Leclerc gets DRS, but so does Verstappen. The DRS there for Leclerc as he tries to lap Russell, who keeps out of the way. Verstappen dives down the inside on Charles Leclerc. Leclerc saw him coming. Verstappen broke that fraction later, and he manages to get past the Ferrari. Now, can Charles Leclerc battle back? No. Verstappen is already quite a long way clear. DRS is enabled for the Ferrari. He's going to give it a go, Charles Leclerc, and goes wheel to wheel with Verstappen and comes off worse. As a result, they might have touched going into that chicane, but Verstappen hangs on to second place. Leclerc gave it everything, but he didn't quite have enough. Bottas getting closer to Albon now. And Albon, who came a cropper in a wheel-to-wheel battle with a Mercedes in Brazil. Now, Valtteri Bottas on this occasion manages to get past the Red Bull without any fear of contact whatsoever, and he'll go through and onto the next straight. DRS now as he's trying to break the toe, Valtteri Bottas, for Alex Albon. He's fighting back, but Bottas stays ahead. Perez on Nico Hülkenberg, getting a lot closer, and that DRS really is quite powerful, and Perez is going to go for it, late braking into the chicane. Sergio Perez this time around, nice and clean, gets past Nico Hülkenberg and up into 8th place. Hülkenberg has now got DRS though, and a slipstream, and he's going to try and fight back. Perez tries to push him to the right hand side as much as he can, while still leaving a car's width to make it very difficult, and he did just that. Sebastian Vettel on Alex Albon, down into the chicane. Albon's got the inside line. Sebastian Vettel has to jump on the brakes, otherwise he was right into the side of the Red Bull there. But in doing so, Vettel prepared himself very nicely indeed to get the exit, and with DRS to move alongside Albon down that back straight. He goes round the outside, and Sebastian Vettel moves into 5th place, pushes Albon down into 6th.
Mate, we want to race Perez to the end, give it everything.
And Perez has got past Lando Norris as well. Sergio Perez getting Lando Norris on the final lap. Carlos Sainz trying to get at Nico Hülkenberg has now got Daniel Ricciardo right behind him as well. Sainz is in all sorts of bother at the moment as he scraps away to try and get 6th place in the Drivers' Championship. Lewis Hamilton has led every single lap of this race, had pole, has the fastest lap as well. It is Lewis Hamilton winning in Abu Dhabi to cap a championship winning season in 2019. Max Verstappen has come home in 2nd place. Now Valtteri Bottas with just 2 more corners to go from the back of the grid, trying to get past Charles Leclerc. Leclerc will be off to see the stewards once he's reached the checkered flag. Charles Leclerc for the time being 3rd here in Abu Dhabi. Valtteri Bottas finishes 4th. 2019 and this decade in Formula One is done. Mercedes have dominated here as they have done many, many times before. Thank you very much indeed. Can't wait for 2020.